Hello everybody, Reggie Time here with another review of a session or some key hands from a session I played recently on Sky Poker. I think I played this a couple of nights ago. I don't remember the hands very well. I've timed them. I'm going to be looking back at them for the first time over the video, so I capture my thoughts fresh. Obviously some of the hands will still be in my memory, but I haven't looked at them beforehand before making this recording, and as we go through I won't be looking at them beforehand because I'd rather just see it again from fresh, not see what I did in advance and then just like see it with a fresh pair of eyes, if you will. And the last video got quite a lot of likes. If you're just liking to be nice, then thank you. Please do it again. If you're liking because you actually like the content and would like to see more, please like again. Please leave comments, etc. And if you're not already a member of the Facebook group, please do come along and join, as long as you're not the sort of person who wants to come along and be a dick. If you are that type of person who enjoys being a dick on social media, then leave us alone and find somewhere else to have your fun. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the hand. We're looking at table 1 here, and we're looking at the ace 10 suited. We have shiny queen limping. We have I Hate You Butler, who is definitely one of the better eggs. And just take a look at this sizing. I'm going to be giving something away to him now. I think I am anyway, because it's relevant later. Just look, he's 4x versus a limper. And I'm probably giving something away about what I think I know about his game, but he's a nice guy, so whatever. It's not such a big deal. He 4x's. Grandad on the button, who I didn't know that much about. He seemed like aggressive post flop, but not in like a really big way, just like niggling, like a little fucking terrier biting at your ankles, more than like a big fucking Doberman trying to take a massive chunk of your knackers. So I think we got a squeeze spot here when we could just call and look to go multi-way with a nutted hand on the button. I'd be way more inclined to do that with his hand out of position. I think we just raise pre, hopefully take it down. If not, fold if I Hate You Butler 4 bets, or hopefully he folds, Grandad calls or folds, and we get to go to post flop. So that was the plan. I'm going to make a pretty big squeeze here. What would I like to see myself make? There's already 2 in the pot. Anything up to 4 I think is fine here. Anything between like 320, I think 320 is probably on the small side. I think 4, I like 4. I don't know what I did, but I like 4 now looking at it. We mashed the pot button to begin with, and oh, that's too small. Don't like it. It's too small. But anyways, there you go. So we're doing this, and evidence that I didn't watch this hand back beforehand. I Hate You Butler did fold, which is really good news, and Grandad called, and we just flopped the absolute stone nuts. And as I said, Grandad was one of these like little niggly, little bite your ankles types, you know. I was pretty confident he would stab if I checked. It's going to be hard to get tons of value anyway when we've like just flopped this strong. We need to flop like sets or top pair to get like that much more value for our handy. If he has a flush, we're going to get it all eventually anyway. So I didn't see any reason to like c-bet here. I just thought I'd check, let him do his thing. So we did. He did indeed do his thing. He just like bet not even 1/3 pot, like 20% of the pot, 30% of the pot possibly. And I think we just have like a really easy call here. We could think about raising, but I expected him to be doing this a lot with like a very wide range, and even though his bet isn't really big enough, the pot's already getting plenty big. There's going to be nothing preventing us getting all the money in by the river here. We call here, that's going to put like whatever 12, 13 quid in the pot. There's only going to be 19 behind, like SPR of like less than 1.5 with 2 streets to go. Nothing's going to prevent us getting the money in if we want to, or when we want to, should I say. So I just called. Total brick on the turn. I expect myself to just check again. And remember this hand now. And I fucked it up. Spoiler alert, we fucking butcher it. He tanks, bets 360. And look at the pot now. There's like 16 in the pot. It's going to be another 3 going. With 20 in the pot with like 13 left behind on the river. I was thinking, well, at the time I was thinking let's just put a really small raise in. Hopefully he jams or he calls, and then we just have like 1/3 pot for the river. That was my thinking. understand why I thought that way. Maybe if we raise small enough, you can't fold any pair. That's what I was thinking. And I did elect to go for a small raise. But now I just think I much prefer like calling here and just leading the river. To try and like represent my flush draws and things like that. So I'd prefer now call here, lead river, but I know I didn't do it. I made some fucking dumb check raise to like an absurdly small size. It just never has any bluffs in it. Even like the biggest fish in the world knows this is never a fucking bluff. It's a dreadful play from me. Utterly, utterly dreadful. It's reprehensible, in fact. It's rubbish. It's absolutely rubbish. And yeah. He folds, and I deserve to get the fold there because I'm a fucking idiot. I mean, look what I'm going to be leaving myself, like £8 into 28. It's like, fucking hell, 20-30% pot, something like that. Yeah, fucking idiot. Just check, call, turn, lead, river, Reggie. That's what I should have done. I didn't. I butchered it. But we're not just going to show all the stuff that I do really well, because that's kind of pointless, isn't it? You know, I want to show all the stuff that I thought was interesting. Either well played or badly played. We're gonna see both, and he did just tank fold, and we won less than we probably should have. On to the next hand here, on table 1 again, and JJ Binks has raised under the gun. He's a very solid type player. I'm not sure what happens here just yet. Shiny Queen gets out of the way. Butler does. We have a really easy set man in situation. We flop a set. Grandad donks. He's been doing this a lot, as we talked about. As you can see, he's just what he does. Like peppers you with like small, shitty little small bets. I think we should just call here for obvious reasons. Let Bink stay in, let Grandad's random air stay in. If he's got like a 3 or a 4 in his hand, then we are allowing him to draw. But it's very unlikely. So I think we should just call here. I wouldn't hate a raise, because if he does have an ace, he's never folding. But I think I prefer to just see a call. I'm obviously tanking whatever I'm thinking about doing. I'm tanking. Yeah, I don't hate the raise, as we talked about. It is really small. It's the second time we've got like raised him really small in what, 3 minutes. Don't know what to make of it. I prefer to call. Don't hate it, at least. I mean, he's never going to fold an ace this way. We get to like build a pot against an ace, and I think we're starting a bit deeper, are we? Yeah, we did start the hand. It's a 20NL table, I believe. Yeah, it's a 20NL table. So we did start the hand 150 blinds deep. So I'd hate it slightly less because we need to get a raising on some street to try and get all the money in. But I think calling's better. Anyway, he clicks it back. Right, now what? Now what do we do when he clicks it back? Now he's clicked it back. I think we should raise again. I mean, maybe he's just doing some complete random bluff. I mean, we could call and just like jam any turn. Let's see if we can see what the stack sizes look like. He's got 27 left. We've got 26 left. We call. Let's put 17 in the pot, 23 behind. If we raise, we can just jam the turn for pot. Could we go all in? No, I don't like all in. Call or like raise really small again would be better. I don't really mind which we do here. Either let him keep the initiative and just jam the turn over his bet, or just raise slightly now and just hopefully he jams. If I'm going to raise, I don't want to see myself go to much more than like 13. But I think all in all, I prefer calling more. Much prefer calling. In fact, I think calling's by far the superior play. And we do call. Fill up on the turn. And that's massively in the tank, then bets £2.80. Right then, now what? I actually don't have a fucking clue what I did here, so we really I don't remember this hand at all. We think we need to raise, don't we? Not much though. He's bet effectively 3. I think like if we just call here, the problem is the pot's going to be like, it's going to be a big pot on there, leaving like a pot-sized bet left. I think I prefer raising here to maybe like 758, something like that, and just leaving us like a really easy jam. I mean, these aren't sizes you're ever going to take against regulars because they're all way too small, but we're just trying to manipulate the pot size here, aren't we? And maybe give him room to spew. Don't know what I did, but I think I'd like to see myself make it like anything between 7 and 8, I think is fine. Keep coming down, Reggie, keep coming down. Too big. I think that's too big. What do we live with? Let's see, we're on still 11 quid. We look like we're committed now. We don't look like we're bluffing. Yeah, I think this is the second time we butchered against this dude. This should absolutely just have been like a really small raise. Just finesse the pot. No, I don't like it. He calls anyway, and then I think we're just going to jam the river, I presume, or maybe he's going to jam it, who knows. But either way, one of us is going to end up all in. Hopefully both of us. Genuinely don't remember the hand, and no idea what he does here. Obviously we're tanking, try and make it look like we've got some kind of tough decision. What are you going to do, Grandad? Ace 8. So yeah, we managed to get maximum value for our 5s there, but I think the flop raise is marginal. I think we could call or raise. If we bet calling ace 8, then clearly raising is far better. I think the turn raise is too big, so yeah, we butchered that hand in a couple of ways, but we managed to get away with it anyway, and that's why I like playing it. We should probably touch on this. This is why I like playing against like lots of bad players, because you can make mistakes and you don't get anywhere near as badly punished for it. That's not to say we should be looking to make mistakes, but you know, I've had a phenomenal like 3 weeks on Sky. I'm not sure exactly how much I've taken off it, but I think we're going to be looking at close to £1,000 at just playing 20 and 30 and L, maybe slightly less, but it's been really good. That includes a tournament win for like 200 quid. But yeah, I just had 3 phenomenal weeks of just like playing at good soft tables, 2 tabling, 3 tabling, sometimes just 1 tabling, and just picking all or as much of the low hanging fruit as I can. And then when the tables go bad and we end up with like 3 or 4 regulars at the table, just quitting it and starting a new one or whatever. If I try and start new tables and no one joins, then we're fine. You know, we let some more fruit, let some more low hanging fruit grow, and come back another time and pick it again. You know, I get a lot of criticism for that, but it makes me money. I'm in a position at the minute because of what happened at work recently, where I need to be making money from poker, and I don't need to be like massaging my ego. So all I've been doing for the best part of 3 weeks is finding some of the worst players I can possibly play with, try to get as many of them around one table as I can, and just you know, like just cleaning up, just mopping up basically, and not really battling with regulars very much, because I haven't been many regulars around. If I end up at a table, let's say for example another good regular come and sat at table 1 now, I'd look at it and think, well, Shiny Queen's got 10 quid, Grandad's only got 3 left, fuck it, let's leave this table. I'm not battling 3 of the regulars for like 13 quid that's left at the table. And that's just what we're doing. You can see at table 2 we've got I don't know how much Joyce he's got, but you've got Porky, you've got like fish everywhere, and that's all I've been doing, just playing against maybe 1 or at the most 2 regulars versus 3 fish. And if the games haven't been that way, if I can't manage to get at tables that way, I've just been doing something else, and I've just absolutely crushed it. And I'm not bragging about that, because I haven't been doing anything special. I've not even been playing like, I've been playing pretty well, but you can see I've been making mistakes but still crushing. And I make no apologies for that. And in fact, in a way, I guess I am proud of it, because it shows that I've got discipline and I don't just sit there. I mean, I log into Sky at night times and I just see regulars battling the shit out of each other with maybe 1 fish, sometimes no fish there, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I don't get it. I don't get it. There you go. I'm not going to go over that too much. We talked so much about game selection here, but I'm really pleased with the fact I've identified that June and probably July are going to be months where I just need to be making like a decent chunk of money from poker, because my day job isn't providing me with the same money. If you want to know why, go back and check the video Only Trust the Face You Shave. It's all explained there. And it's really important that I make the very most I can, and I'm not going to make the very most I can by battling like fuck with regulars over like 5 or 6 tables. I'm going to be 2 and 3 tabling at the very best tables at 20 and 30 now that I can find, maybe some 50 if it's really good, and I'm just hoping to take £200 or £300 a week off with a minimum fuss. So yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully we can achieve it. This is the next stand. Remember I told you about, to remember I hit your butler's isolation size, it was 80p. Oh, I played the fucking video. Roll VT, Reggie. This time he's isolated to £1, and I think that I'm giving it away now. If he ever watches this, he's gonna know. And if you do watch this, Matt, please do comment to see if I was onto something, and obviously if I was, then you're obviously going to adjust now, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're still going to do it because you don't care what I do, because you know I'm not fucking with you too much. I don't know, but yeah, he raised and folded before for 80p. Now it's exactly the same situation, and he's raised to £1. I mean, maybe it's significant, maybe it's just coincidence. I don't know, but I noticed it, and I just thought he's going to be a little bit stronger here. So last time he raised to 80p, and we squeezed with the ace-10 suited, because I thought he was maybe a little bit on the weaker side. I've noticed it a few times with Matt, and not just Matt, other Sky regulars too, and they're right to do it. They really are. If they've got a strong hand, they're right to make bigger raise sizes against fish. No issue with it, not criticising for it. Something I noticed, probably shouldn't have mentioned it, but now I have. Yeah, and I don't blame him for doing it, because I would do exactly the same thing too. I usually just mash the pot button, but the more limpers, the bigger my isolations are pre, and the more polarised they are to just like super primo good stuff. So yeah, he's raised to £1 this time. I got the ace queen. I had a feeling if a 3-bet, I would have been facing a 4-bet because of this slight difference in his pre-flop sizing. I could have been onto something, I might have been onto nothing, I don't know. But anyway, I elected to just call, because I didn't see much benefit in 3-betting. I remember this hand very well, and we kind of hope shiny queen comes along, and we could maybe flop an ace or a queen and extract some value from shiny queen. We flop top pair, top kicker, so we're going to have to see at least a flop on the turn. Matt bets, which super trivial call, nothing to see here, check call all day. Turns kind of brickish. If it's better for anybody, it's better for us than Matt, I guess, but either way, he checks and he bets really big. And again, I was thinking about folding here. The thing that put me for a little bit was like, well, you know, how exploitable are we if we just like check fold second top pair good kicker on this kind of like drawy board? But we have the ace of diamonds, so it's less likely to have like flush draws and things. These things were going through my head, and I just thought at the time, I thought he's got aces kings here, aces kings, maybe a set, but I thought maybe he wouldn't have raised 4 6s and 7s. He wouldn't have c-bet 7s on the flop. Would he have like 5x'd 4s and 6s pre? I don't think so. That wasn't what my read was pre. And at this part I really was quite worried about aces, but kings specifically, because we blocked the aces of course. But again, I don't think we can fold. It's just, I think it's just going to be just that bit too exploitable. You could definitely have like some king queen here that wants to maybe choose the same sizings. So I wasn't happy with the situation, as you can see by the not huge tank, but tank a little bit. And then the 5 comes on the river, and at this point I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't think he has a 3, don't think he has an 8, so I don't think he has a straight. I was thinking, if he bets, if he goes all in, kind of, do we need to call? You know, do we need to? Does he have stuff like, who knows what, like 10-9 of diamonds, stuff like that? I wasn't sure, to be honest with you, but Matt kind of made my decision a little bit easier. He tanked for ages and then just like bet £4, and I'm being milked at this point. I think I even typed something in the chat box, I'm not sure. I know I'm being milked. We just cannot possibly fold getting such a good price 9 money. We've got to call 4 into a pot of 20. I mean, if Matt ever does bluff here, then he's giving himself a really profitable bluff using this sizing. This is a definition of an absolute crying call. I'm not sure if he typed something in the chat or not. I might say something to him, I'm not sure. Yeah, hashtag station. I can't fold. And he did have the kings, and the clue was pre-flopping this time. Well, pre-flopping the turn, I think, where he's using like a pretty big sizing. Pretty familiar with Matt's game. I don't think he goes out the way to like get out of line against me. I think he is maybe taking advantage of me slightly. I suspect he'll think he has like a decent edge at the table, and who knows, maybe he does. You know, he's certainly a decent player. He sat me heads up the other day. I'm not interested in playing him heads up. I'm not interested in playing any regular heads up. As I talked about earlier, I'm not here for the glory at the minute. I'm here to like just pick up all the soft money I can without much of a fight. So yeah, Matt's a good player. I like the way he played the hand. I think his river bet's fucking super sexy. I think so many players just check back there. I think he like, accurately put me on like a queen, maybe pocket jack, something like that. And yeah, I like the way he played the hand. I think if I'm going to get away, it's going to be on the turn, but I don't think we can. So yeah, but really pleased with the fact that I picked up on his 5x pre was kings. And if Matt, if you do see this, I might even tag you in the Facebook group actually, just to get your thoughts on my observation that may have been just coincidence or may actually be correct, that you were at least, not saying you're going to do it in the future, but you were at least like altering your isolation size based on your hand strength. Next hand is at table 1 again. We have 2 10s. JJ Binks is going to be the main protagonist in this hand. We open. He 3-bets us to 180, and just to get a bit of context, I think maybe just a few orbits earlier he'd 3-bet me pretty much the exact same spot, and we had pocket fours folded. I think pocket 10s is too strong. We need to defend this in some way, but my read could be off here, but I see JJ Binks as like a not very tight player, but certainly one of the tighter regulars. Again, we don't get out of line against each other. I don't think we do anyway. He might think otherwise, but I don't think that we do. I think he understands that we're just there chopping the fish up and not really there to get in pissing contests versus each other. But maybe he just doesn't fuck with me because he knows I'm in there. I'm not sure. But either way, it doesn't feel like he fucks with me. Obviously, he does a little bit, and obviously I do a little bit with him. I'm not saying that every time we 3-bet each other we've got it, because that isn't true. But I don't think there's certainly not some like major right pissing contest going on, that's for sure. But yeah, we need to defend the 10s. It'd be too tight to do anything but call here. And I don't think we can 4-bet versus JJ. I think he's just going to play really well versus 4-bets in this spot. So we just call. Reasonable flop. Check. On this board, I expect him to continue with most of his like 3-betting range. Maybe he checks back like jacks and queens. Maybe more jacks than queens. I'm not sure. I think he bets aces. I think he bets his king X's sizing for sure. I think it's too well. Do I think it's too small? I'm not sure. I think maybe a little bit bigger I would have preferred with all his range, but yeah, I think he's going to be betting like most of his range, especially for this sizing post flop. And we always have like the really easy call. It can be tempted to like think about raising here, but you know, I think overall calling's way better. If I had a king, for example, I wouldn't raise. Maybe if I had 6s full, I would think about it and just hope he had the king. Then maybe if I had like an ace-high flush draw, I would think about it, or like a jack-high flush. If I had a flush draw, maybe 6s full, something like that, maybe think about putting a raise in with, but usually I'm just going to call even though it's a tiny bet. We do call, we pick up the flush draw on the turn, we check again of course. He checks back. And then we river the flush, and our decision here is between like block bet to get like value from, I don't know, anything that's like trips or a jack without a club, or just check something. And I think check something's the best. I don't think he's going to call with worse very often at all. For example, I don't think he has pocket 9s very often here with the club or anything like that. So he's going to have primarily high cards and some random air sometimes, I guess. Don't think like checking against that range is probably the best play. And like looking to bluff catch versus sizes that aren't outrageously big. He bets 220. I think we just need to call here. Of course, he's going to have like the ace of the queen of clubs. Sometimes it's kind of helpful that the king and the jack's out there because it's less like, well, he can't have like the jack eye or the king eye flush. You know, those cards in his hand. Do I think he's doing this without a club? Rarely. Maybe sometimes he just takes a hand like ace queen here and bets to get me off exactly this type of hand, or maybe some slightly weaker hands like pocket eights with the club, pocket sevens with the club. I think we just have to pay this bet off. I don't think there's much else to say about it. I didn't like it, you could tell, but we did pay him off when he rivered the nut flush. Surprised, or not surprised, but interested to see that this is like part of his range at 3-bets. But I've never got to showdown much in 3-bet pots with him. Quite interesting that he has this. Maybe it means that I could have been maybe 4-betting some hands against him. I mean, because I don't think he's going to like 3-bet call this pre. So had I had this information previously in some of the spots where I've maybe folded like 8-7 suited versus him, or ace-7 suited, stuff like that, I think maybe we could have mix some 3-bet, some 4-bet bluffs in against him if he is going to be 3-betting like ace jack off suit, because he's just going to have to fold them to my 4-bets most of the time. So it's interesting that he's been doing that. Obviously, if he sees this video, and I think he just watched them, he might change, but also I might change too. So I'm not, as I say, I'm not too worried about giving things away against the regulars, because there's a constantly evolving like meta game anyway. But pleased to have shown the hand. In the last 2 hands, we've kind of lost out to the regulars. I haven't necessarily shown ourselves in a super favourable light, but as I said at the start, I'm not here just to show the hands that make me look a genius. We're here to review all the interesting hands from a session. And there we go, that's what we're going to do. It'd be dishonest of me to just like show the hands that I didn't like fuck up in any way. Not that I thought I fucked that one up, or the ace queen necessarily, but yeah, in the hands where our opponents get the better of us, we need to be reviewing them too, otherwise it's a waste of time. So this next hand is going to take place on table 3. We are in the big blind with the 5-3 suited. Slalom limps. Big blind completes, we check. We flop a good shot. And I'd like to see him just pot it here. Oh, we get bet into right so straight away. I thought he was going to check to us and we just pot it. So he's bet into us. We have like baby flush draw and a gut shot. The temptation is just to call here, but I much prefer raising. I don't know what I did because I've not looked at the hand, but I would much prefer to see myself raise here. Yeah, we're not going to get him off like any 2 pairs or any top pairs or anything like that, but that's not the goal right now. I mean, the goal is to try and get folds from some other stuff that perhaps that's ahead of us that can't call. If he's lots of people here, for example, would just lead with like ace deuce, ace 6, things like that, and have to fold into a raise most of the time. I mean, that's 6-7. Who knows what people lead out with, especially in limp pots. They lead out with all sorts of things. But we have like a hand that's got decent equity but 0 showdown value. So when I'm in like decent equity 0 showdown value situations, I'll usually start like betting or raising. I think raising is entirely appropriate here. He's bet out for full pot. I think anything between maybe £2 would be on the low side, maybe 3 would be on the high side. I won't mind just 4xing it here actually. Let's see what we do. 3x is too small, Reggie. Oh, we're going up 220. Fine with that. I'm on board with that. If he re-raises, then we maybe just need to say fuck you, let's go. I just hope to get there. We didn't need to at this point. The 7 comes on the turn, which isn't any use to us whatsoever. But our opponent, oh, he leads out again. I thought he was going to check. I was going to say he checks. So he leads out again. When this is why I'm out of the hand, I remember now. When fish do the whole bet call, bet turn again thing, it's not a bluff, or it's so infrequently a bluff. So on the flop where you think, oh, I've got a decent bit of forward equity here, let's just make our raise. You're right to try and do that. But when bet call flop check, sorry, then lead turn, I don't expect to get many folds. They're either going to have a better flush draw, or they're going to just have 2 pair plus most of the time, or a good top pair that's just being weird. Regulars just almost never take this line, especially on bricks. So it doesn't matter against regulars, but when fish do this, they've just got it most of the time. So at this point, I was just I hope I don't raise them. I think raising will be spew. I think it's just a point of, you know what, we're getting reasonable pot odds. We're getting like 3 to 1 on our money. We've got 12 outs, which is we're probably just about getting the right price, but with hopefully a bunch of implied odds. So especially if we hit the 4, hit the club, we're not as likely to get paid. If we hit the 4, then I think we've got a good chance of stacking 2 pair plus. Please just call Reggie. We do. And then he just jams the river, and whatever. He's got the flush. Good for him. You just pay him off. I got stacked today, flush versus flush in a 3-bet. But when I make flushes, I'm not that into folding them, to be honest with you. Even a flush is like shit as this, he's going to have a lot better flushes here than us. But he's also just going to have some of the random stuff as well. I don't know if he's got a set, maybe he's got 2 pairs or something. I hope I don't take too long to make the call here. No, we call pretty quickly. He's got king 6, and we dragged down a nice pot. Yeah, and that was the last hand. I thought there was one more to show you guys, but I've been scanning through the video and there isn't. For some reason I had like a hand at 94 minutes, but there wasn't one, so I'm not sure what that was. So yeah, I thought there was one more hand, but there wasn't. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I hope it gets as much good feedback as the last one. Please do get in touch if you'd like to have any kind of contact with me. Join the Facebook group, all of those things. And we'll be back with another one of these later in the week. I'm going to try and do at least 2, possibly 3 of these a week, especially if they keep getting big thumbs up. So hopefully there'll be another one really soon. And bye for now. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.